Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video I'm going to teach you guys how to play War Pigeons. I'm going to talk about the game mode in general, and how to play it, and actually the best way to play it to win the game. So basically, War Pigeons is kind of like mobile King of the Hill. So the match starts, there's one pigeon that spawns in kind of in between both teams, so both teams go and try to get the pigeon. One person can carry the pigeon. So that person tries to get away from the enemy team in order to write the message. So basically you're writing a message to send a pigeon to your headquarters in order to get an artillery strike to decimate the enemy team, if they are, of course, outside or something like that. So basically how it plays out is each team has to write and deliver 3 messages. So the first team to get to the 3 messages delivered wins the round. Now, some things that you guys need to know about this game mode. First of all, when you're actually writing the message, doing any actions such as firing your weapon, reloading your weapon, giving medic, reviving somebody, and walking around, even so slightly, will slower exponentially the rate at which you write the message. So it is imperative to find a good spot to write the message, and like crouch and stay still. You're gonna write the message much faster, as shown in the video, because I can't even count the amount of times that people have actually had the pigeon. We told them to not move, to write it faster, and they would just be like not even like running around the map to try and get away from the enemy, but just like a light shuffle, and that was just messing up the right speed of the message. So the enemy had time to find us, and by the time the person had time to finish writing the message and release the pigeon, this is another part of the game mode that you guys need to know, the enemy team would shoot down the pigeon in the air. So this is something else that you can do. You can actually, when the message is written and the carrier releases the pigeon by pressing the interact key, which is whatever you guys use, the enemy team can actually shoot the pigeon out of the air. Now, granted, it's not the easiest thing to do. It is very doable if the team who has the pigeon releases it in a spot that's not advantageous for them. And by advantageous spots, I'm talking here about, let's take for example Empire's Edge, which is the map that I'm currently playing War Pigeons on. There's kind of like a fortress and rocks going towards the waterfront and whatnot. So one of the best spots to release the pigeon is from the bottom of a high wall. That way, by the time the pigeon gets up, they're gonna have a lot less time to shoot the pigeon than if you release it from from mid-ground, where everybody has about eye level. They can see the pigeon like eye level, right? Or you can also release the pigeon from a very high up point, which I'm thinking the top of the bunker on Empire's Edge. So there's these 2 little things that you guys need to think of when playing War Pigeons, is where to release the pigeon. Don't just release it in the middle of the map, because it's more than likely going to get shot down, because the enemy team is going to have a good sight on the pigeon, and they're going to be able to shoot it down very easily. So this is something you have to think of. You have to think of strategy. When you have the pigeon, where are you going to go with the pigeon to not get, 1, found, 2, that you can sit tight and just hunker down and write the message a lot faster, and 3, have a strategic position to release said pigeon. So it's a lot easier when you're playing War Pigeons with friends, of course, as I was doing in the game footage you guys are seeing. When I had the pigeon, I was behind the wall, and I was asking my friends to fan out in order to cover the largest possible area from me. And I was also asking them if I was in a good spot, if there were enemies, a lot of enemies coming towards me. If not, that I was going to move. So these are all things that you need to think of when you have the pigeon. Now, when you don't have the pigeon, but your team has the pigeon, your objective is to, as I said, fan out and try to push the enemy back from the pigeon carrier in sorts that when the message is finished writing, he can release the pigeon with a lot less chances of the enemy shooting it down. Now, some more information about the game mode. Let's say you're writing the message on the pigeon, right? Well, for the pigeon. And you get killed halfway writing the message. Well, if your teammate picks up that the pigeon, the message still stays half written. So you're going to have, the person who picked up the pigeon is going to have a lot less message to write. Then it doesn't reset every time somebody gets killed with the pigeon. So that's something that you guys need to know, which is a basic part of the game mode. And it's the same thing for the enemy team. If the enemy gets shot and somebody else picks up the pigeon carrier, the message stays written, but it doesn't go cross-side. So let's say the enemy has the message half written. I kill the enemy with the pigeon. I pick it up. Well, it's not half written for me. I have to start from scratch, right? So that's pretty much how the game mode plays out. It's very fast-paced. There's a lot going on all the time. Some maps are better to play War Pigeons, some maps a little bit less, but nonetheless the game mode is very fun, and it keeps everybody like going for the objective and playing the objective. So it's a very entertaining game mode to play. Also, when you deliver the message, if your artillery strike gets kills, you are credited with those kills. So that is something that is very beneficial for yourself if you end up delivering that message. Now, if you want to talk about some a little bit more advanced tactics, one of the best things that you can get in War Pigeons is the sentry kit that spawns on the map. So if you get that sentry kit and you take control of the pigeon, they're gonna have a hell of a hard time killing you, especially if you have teammates keeping you alive with med packs and keeping you filled up with ammo, which I'm thinking of the support characters. So that's something that you can think of after you've experienced War Pigeons a couple times and you get used to the game mode. Think about that. Who has the sentry kit? Can he get the pigeon in order for us to have an advantage? So those are all things that you guys can think of, but essentially that's how War Pigeons is played out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. If you have any questions about War Pigeons, please leave them in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.